Did you know that Bell has been a womanizer from the start? The light novel begins with Bell introducing us to the dungeon, with many hideous monsters dwell. He, along with other adventurers, ventures into it in search of fame and fortune, risking their lives. But Bell's desire in the dungeon was only one. There, while fighting against monsters, Bell would have an encounter with a girl being attacked, and at the right moment, after screams and desperation, he would defeat the monsters, save the girl, and stand there gloriously, awakening the girl's heart in mad love for him. Yes, the story begins with Bell telling us he wants to pick girls in the dungeon, which is why that is the title of the series. Moreover, he had plans to forge bonds with people working in shops, thus meeting new people, to protect Elvis from wild adventures, to help Amazonas when they needed it, forming a group and setting off on an adventure. He wanted to get close to one girl and make others jealous, but well, reality is, he was chased by a minotaur and saved by ice. However, yes, Bell always had girls in mind when he went to Horario, picking up girls, meeting girls, and making girls jealous of him. Bell is innocently as he seems. In Danmachi, a lot of content was cut from the anime and never even made it on screen, but don't worry, because I will tell you everything you need to know, because I love Dungeon Deai and I'm committed to bring the best videos I can for my viewers, so don't waste time and join the great community to get the best of the otaku world. In second place, did you know that Eina has kind of always hinted that she likes Bell? Right from Eina's first appearance, we find out she likes him quite a bit. Here, she wasn't sure if it was because she's a advisor of this young boy who seems more like a little brother, but every now and then, Eina missed Bell when he didn't show up at the guild, while she enjoyed it when he did visit. And when she starts to think about it, she forces herself to think it is because she sees him as a little brother, almost as if to make up for it. And after that, before the fight against Asterios, where she finally assumes her feelings for Bell, we get hints of Eina feelings for Bell little by little, with blushes here, this is there, and scenes everywhere. And the most beautiful thing, however, is that she always will relieve when he visits her, as that means he is still alive, and she's very concerned about the death of her adventures, especially Bell. In third place, did you know that Bell is more a womanizer than he is intelligent? I mentioned earlier about Bell going to Darou with various dreams of meeting girls, winning them over, making them jealous, and all of that. So in the first episode, you remember that he went deeper in the dungeon than he should have, exploring the 5th floor without being ready and then running into the Minotaur because of this. The thing is, the reason Bell went deeper in the dungeon that day was because he wanted to pick up girls. Yes, he was putting his goals of picking up girls in the dungeon to the test. Even though he was a first-rate weakling, he decided to go deeper than usual, to the 5th floor, risking himself to try and find some woman there. And later on, Eina mentions how Bell always has some fantasy related to the dungeon, and sometimes does this kind of crazy thing. And this shows us it wasn't the first time he ventured deeper than he should, looking for girls to save and win over, even though he could barely save himself. So yes friends, Bell really wanted to pick up girls in the dungeon, and it wasn't just a little bit. And nowadays, with Hedgen's training, he was finally able to do it, although now he doesn't even want to anymore. In fourth place, did you know that Monsterfilia isn't a regular event? During the Monsterfilia event, the main part of the festival is the arena, where adventurers fight and tame monsters for the audience, while the crowd erupted in applause and cheers with the grand displays of the adventurers. Everyone could hear it, and Eina, who was outside the stadium, would feel the vibrations on the ground, hear the monster howls, and the electric shouts of the people. Here we learn that Monsterfilia isn't an ordinary festival, isn't something made for the amusement of the gods. The Ganesha family provided the monsters and tamers for the shows, but the guild itself was responsible for everything else, which is not normal. Of course, she wasn't going to question it, but she still wondered why this event existed in the first place. Although the festival was approved, she didn't feel comfortable with it. Even if there was no risk for the city, the monsters were brought from the dungeon, and monsters are terrifying creatures. According to Eina, if the guild was really concerned about the city's safety and management, they should have done more to contain the monsters themselves, not to bring them to the surface. And this kind of explains why the Monsterfilia is needed. After all, the Monsterfilia is to prepare the people for the Xenos. In fifth place, place, did you know that Hestia never met Sheer before the volume 16 of the light novel? Hestia mentioned in the 5th season that she had never met Sheer before, and that is true. We had a brief interaction between them during the chapter 6 of volume 1, which takes place in the Monsterphilia arc in the anime. There, if you remember well, Hestia fainted from exhaustion, and Bell took her to the benevolent mistress, where Sheer would take care of Hestia for Bell, who was also tired and anxious. However, Hestia was unconscious here, so she didn't get to see Sheer, and after that, we never had any meetings between Sheer and Hestia. If you pay attention to the scenes, every time Hestia went to benevolent mistress, Sheer was never there. And there is something else Hestia says that further confirms this. She once decided to spy on Sheer to find out who was this waitress that Bell talked about so much, but she didn't find even a strand of the girl's hair, almost as if Sheer was avoiding her out of a fear of being seen by Hestia. Obviously there is a reason for this, but that is not something to get into right now. But yes, Hestia never seen Sheer before. In 6th place, did you know it was Hephaestus who got Welf to stop hating magic swords so much? As we know, Welf, because of his past, deeply hates magic swords, and even though he has the gift of making the best magic swords in the mortal world, he adamantly refused to make them in any way. Over time, it was Hephaestus who convinced Welf not to completely waste his gift, that he shouldn't hate his heritage so much, calming the blacksmith down a bit. And it was after the battle against the Black Goliath that took place in Rivera on the 18th floor that Welf's resentment towards magic swords really started to diminish, almost disappearing entirely. After that, he started making magic swords more often, with him always creating 1 or 2 for emergencies. Although, of course, he still vehemently refuses to make them for anyone outside his family. In 7th place, did you know that Tiona is practically a female version of Bell? Tiona is an energetic person who cares a lot about the others and is friendly with anyone who approaches her. Even though she's not the most intelligent, which she admits, she is very cautious at the right moments, especially in fights. Being a natural-born fighter, she is also flexible, being one of the few people who had doubted whether it was right to fight the Xenos, after seeing how much they supported and protected each other, like when Vin protected a child. Moreover, Tiona loves stories about heroes and has a great deal of knowledge about them, almost reaching Bell's level on that subject. She cares deeply for those she loves and is willing to do whatever it takes to protect them, even if it means getting her hands dirty in the process. In 8th place, did you know that Finn is an artificial hero? Finn is from the Palom race, and it is determined to become the light of his people, a guide, a hero to revive the ancient glory of the Paloms. He is always looking for ways to boost his reputation and build his own career, raising his name for the sake of his dream. It is said that this is Finn's most important trait, along with his enormous ambition, which he uses toward his goal. And alongside his goal and ambition, he is extremely intelligent, strategic and sharp, being able to make the right decisions without hesitation and in a complex manner. Because of this, he has the reputation of a hero, though he is not officially one. The people of Horario calls him a hero. However, during the Xenos arc, he was so focused on not allowing his image to be tarnished that even after learning about Xenos' intelligence and souls, he remained determined to exterminate them while keeping the truth about the monsters a secret. But upon seeing Bell fight bravely for the monsters like a true hero, Finn realized he was an artificial hero. He held his status and position because of the calculated and strategic moves he made to get there, but he never truly acted like a hero, and because of this, he came to respect Bell for being a true hero. In 9th place, did you know that Asfi is a princess? Or at least, she was one. Asfi was a princess of a nation located on an island, until Hermes came and took her away, turning her into an adventurer. After that, she became the vice-captain of his family, and later, 7 years ago, she became the captain when Lydia, the captain at the time, died during the period when Avilus was active in Horario. And probably because she was a princess in the past, this could explain why Asfi is such a serious and hard-working person. Welf himself comments on this, saying that she was probably royalty because of the way she carries herself. And while it may seem strange to think that Hermes took a princess from her country, this is actually quite common in the world of Danmachi. Even familias like Freya and and Loki had done this. And if you look deeper, we have even gods being kings themselves. So yes, it is pretty common. In 10th place, did you know that Ganesha family is basically the most influential family in the horario? Obviously, Freya and Loki's familias are the most powerful, while there are several extremely important too, like the Insect, Hephaestus, Gaibinil and others. But the Ganesha familia is special even among all of them. Ganesha is a close ally of Uranus, and as such, actively supports the guild in various activities. One example is that the public security of Horario is largely handled by the Ganesha family itself, with them serving as a guard at the gates and even the police within the city. Furthermore, Ganesha is one of the few people Uranus trusted enough to talk about the Xenos. Together, they created the monster Philia to reduce the people prejudice against the beasts. And while the family takes care so much of Horario's military strength, they are a family of tamers. Not all of them are, but they are known for producing many skilled tamers, being surprisingly a tamer family. And if you like Danmachi, subscribe to the channel to stay updated on more facts, stories and trivia. Now I'm out.